welcomed by Warner Brothers when you made Wonder Woman? You're entering the studio system, you've done independent films.
I was. I mean, my story to get in there was a long story because I had first talked to them about it in like 2005. And then there were like so many different chapters of why they were and when they weren't going to make it. I feel like it's more like dating than it is like, hey, buy my pitch, or it's serious. It's a serious commitment. You are seriously signing on to the same thing. So I had almost done other big movies and had seen that very little disagreements can mean, wow, I'm not the right director for what you want to do after all. And so when I was meeting with them at that point, I was really cautious. And at first, when I first was meeting with them, they wanted to do something different. And I was like, it's a shame, but I don't think we are the right match. You have to do what you have to do, and that's not quite right. By the time that they came back and they had realized they wanted to do something which was very similar to what I'd been saying I wanted to do for a long time, it was a much different conversation. Because then they were like, we really want to do that now. And I was like, you really want to do this? Because we only have X amount of time, and that's exactly what I would want to do. Yes. So I was extremely welcome. I was extremely welcome. I was very supported because all of that was behind us. It's the biggest advice I ever give young filmmakers is like pick the right projects and take it seriously, because you don't want to end up in a bad marriage. You don't want to be like idealistic and say I could change their minds. Maybe you can't, And if you can't, then you're on that ride. So it was a wonderful experience. I don't think it's always that way, but because of the fact that there was such clarity about what we were doing going in, and then it was, then I just did it.
Sometimes people have to do unpleasant things to get a performance. Is that acceptable?
It depends what kind. Because there are very clear lines. To push an actor to do work that they're capable of, yes. To inflict trauma, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I've had this argument with other people before where it's like, I am not here to bring trauma into people's life. So my job as a director is to conjure the best out of other people within what they have already to work with, and maybe new scenarios like cold, or maybe I am pushing them in towards cold and things like that. But I've always thought that was not for me. I've heard about those things about lying to people or really tricking people or messing with them, and I'm like, that's not cool for me. There's a line in the sand of where I'm willing to go. To bring beautiful things into the world, because how beautiful can they be?
Are you willing, however, to inflict harm upon yourself?
Yes.
Oh, great question.
There was a period of time, not long right before I made Wonder Woman, that the bottom had fallen out of the indie film market completely. So the films that I had ready to go, nobody wanted to make. They didn't even want to read them. And it was only IPs, and I was meeting on IPs, and there was a period of time there that I was like, I just want to leave Hollywood. Like, I don't know that I'm gonna, it's ironic that I turned around and then made Wonder Woman, but at the moment, I was like, this might not be for me. Maybe I need to move to Europe or something, because I don't know how to fit myself into this, and they don't want to see my film, and they don't even want to read, And so, I've definitely had a pretty dark moment right before I made Wonder Woman, where I was like, I'm having why I can't find the fit that
If you
works.
left film, what would you do?
I'd be a psychologist.
Oh.
I love people. It's my interest in art and film is greatly fueled on the other side by my curiosity about people, which is why I'm interested in telling their stories, whether it be about why you would become that serial killer, or what it would feel like to have tremendous power.
Ready?
Okay, quiet on set.
And I look down the lens.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Hi, I'm John Boyega.
Sam Rockwell.
Willem Dafoe.
Emma Stone.
Allison Janney.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching The Hollywood Reporter
The Hollywood Reporter.
The Hollywood Reporter.
on YouTube.